Melissa Newman from ASI's media team. I am so excited that you're here for another episode of I Love ASI, where I have the pleasure of interviewing our ASI suppliers and distributors about their careers, their companies, and why they love working with ASI. And I am super ecstatic to be joined today by Todd Phillips. He is the Vice President of Business Development at Crystal D. So how are you doing today, Todd?
Hey, I'm doing excellent, Melissa, and thank you for doing this for us today and letting me join you.
No, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I'm excited to get into this conversation. So are you ready for questions?
I believe I am ready when you are.
All right. So we're going to dive a little bit into Crystal D's customer service experience, which I think is really important to highlight. So you guys pride yourself on providing a simple, easy, and fast customer experience, which I think is awesome. And as a sales professional, what does that mean to you?
Well, at Crystal D, because we do sell a fairly niche product, we're selling crystal gifts and crystal awards. Right. So they're high perceived value, but also historically, especially distributors, salespeople have thought, oh, it's way too complicated. There's all this pricing issues about different things. So we worked very hard over several years and have now for 4 or 5 years had a very simple pricing structure. So that's the simple of simple, easy, fast. Very simple pricing structure. There are no hidden charges. There's no surprises. And most things are included in our initial price. The easy has to do with the ordering process. That's very easy. That once you place an order from us, we are total communication about acknowledging the order, confirming the order, tracking, proofing. It is all highly automated, very quick, and even to the point that it's not about you reaching out to us. It is a proactive style where we're reaching out to you. Here's your proof. Here's your acknowledgement. Here's your tracking. So that it's all very, very quick. And then finally, fast is about fast production. That every order coming into Crystal D, 5 to 8 day production time is our standard. And to give you an idea, in the first quarter of this year, which was a very good quarter for us, and March was our second largest month we've had in the 27-year industry history. Every order, 97% of orders shipped in less than 7 days.
I love that. So
simple, easy, fast, simple pricing, easy ordering, fast production.
I love that. You explained that so eloquently. And I love it because honestly, I think it's important to sustain yourself as a business by listening to your customers. And it sounds like that's exactly what you guys did, is some of the common barriers that they have experienced with using this particular type of product in this category. You're like, how can we make this service experience better and just exceed expectations at all touch points? So bravo to you and your team. So
really goes back to our owner, Chuck Dahlgren, who's owned us for 27 years, and trying to make it as easy as possible for people to do business with us. So there's no misunderstandings, no problems, no issues. Everything goes smoothly and easily. And that is kind of our motto of the company. We want to be fast, easy, simple.
I love it. What a great tagline.
Yep.
So I wanted to ask you, in your particular role with everything that has happened with COVID-19 and all the restrictions and limitations that everybody is experiencing, how are you approaching business development in 2021?
Okay. Of course, as the Vice President of Business Development, that is my area that I work in every day. So first thing we did was we have revamped our sales force and have placed 3 people, 3 positions that are nothing but business development people reaching out proactively to distributors and distributor salespeople across the country. Now, when we do that, we are using several different methods because we do believe distributors and their sales staffs are working under a lot of new and different conditions. Right. So we are doing virtual meetings just like this on a regular basis. Large groups of people on the other end, one-to-one virtual meetings, one-on-twos. We're trying very hard to be virtual. and to provide information to a salesperson on the distributor side that's relevant and easy and current. But beyond that, we're also using other digital media, social media. The marketing team posts with me. I have a post out about every 2 to 3 days about some aspect of our business. Some of it might be facts about recognition and awards, not necessarily our product. And then the third thing, of course, we are reaching out by phone and by email to share facts, share information, and connect with those distributors.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you guys are living up to that motto where there's no such thing as too much communication, you know, and you guys are trying to adapt to a time that's been very wild in our industry, but to much success. You found a way to still serve your customers without dropping the ball or kind of being hindered by anything that's going on, and still making sure you're hitting those expectations out of the ballpark, which is awesome.
We tried very hard to be conscious of people's changes and their flexibility and being adaptable to them.
Right.
But one media, social media, and then direct video, where we will, in fact, later today, we are doing a 1.5-minute video to a specific targeted audience that is directed at them to give them a quick 1, 2, 3, this is what we're all about. So using video, using social media, using virtual meetings is what has really been the new way of reaching out.
That's awesome. I love that your team pivoted and still are finding new ways to connect. So I wanted to ask you about a new product that you guys recently released, which is an encapsulated light gallery. How did that come about? What went into that happening?
Okay. Encapsulate was delivered at the very end of 2020, so November of 2020. It is a 100% crystal product that has a capsule. That's where the encapsulate comes. So it has a empty capsule that allows the end user to place, or to have us place for them, a product that is theirs, to embed that product into the crystal. The best example I can give you is we just completed a project where Owens Corning, the people who make commercial and residential fiberglass and other types of insulation, did a project where we took actual fiberglass insulation, placed it in the encapsulate capsule, and now it is part of that award. So it is taking their product, it is making that product theirs by embedding or placing their product or a symbol of their product inside the actual piece. Now, there is a second one that's much more, some people say, oh, I never see the insulation, I don't know what that looks like. They have a hard time with that one. We also have done a project. It was actually for a individual award for a person who had been at this company for 40 years, where they gave that person on their 40th anniversary an encapsulate. Person had been employed at the Tootsie Roll company for 40 years. And what is inside the capsule are Tootsie Roll wrappers that have been made so that it looks like there's a Tootsie Roll there, but it looks just like their product inside our crystal encapsulate. So it's the ability to put the end user's stamp, the end user's product, the end user's image inside a crystal, high perceived crystal item.
That's so cool. I love the Tootsie Roll example. Is there any others that you would maybe offer up for ways that businesses could use this product to promote something for a business?
Sure. One of the ways is if you're doing a groundbreaking ceremony for a new building or addition, that when they first do that groundbreaking, we can take that dirt, put it in the encapsulate, and commemorate the groundbreaking. And that might be for people who finance the project, people who are doing the construction of the project, the directors of the company or the management of the company that is building, that is actually going to is actually going to reside in the building. Could be for all of them to commemorate, this is the day we started and that's the dirt we moved. So that's one example. We also have a project going on right now where, because of COVID-19, people may begin to come back to work. may be more accessible. There is a medical company that would like to say to the people who worked on the front lines in the hospitals, in the doctor's offices, in the nursing homes, thank you for your service. But inside the encapsulate is actually a syringe, like you would have received your vaccination with. It's a syringe. So all of those are ideas, and there are myriad numbers of things that we could put in the capsule, in encapsulate. And we have different sizes, so there's a wide variety of price points.
That's so cool. I love that. And I think that's just like what a nice way to boost employee morale. You know, like you're coming back, like I would be so touched to receive a gift like that if I was a nurse or a hospital administrator, especially with everything that's gone on in the last year and a half. Like, what a cool idea from your company. So is there anything else that you would like to add about business development for 2021, Crystal D, or this new product before we go on to our last question?
One thing I would add is because that we have had a change in the world, and while we may soon kind of move back toward what we quote unquote call normal, we've learned some things from this time. It has had some positive impacts, and the positive impacts is that we have learned that people are what's important, whether they're working at home, in an office. It's all about the people, the culture, and we at Crystal D, or any company that's in the business of encouraging and appreciating employees, this has been a time to learn that this can be done and needs to be done on a very regular basis.
I agree 100%. That's really powerful, you know, for retention and just appreciation and morale. So thank you so much for sharing that. So my last question, one of my favorites, is Todd, why do you love ASI?
Oh, we have a lot of reasons that we love ASI at Crystal D. First, we've been around for 27 years. We became an ASI member right away, realizing that that was an essential ingredient to the growth of the business. And the reason that that has panned out so well and has become such an instrumental part of what we do is ASI has a wonderful day of keeping us up to date on your communication through the trends in the industry, but also the trends in the world that we need to adapt to. We also are very appreciative of how you kind of lead us into ways and methods to communicate both to consumers and our distributors. And we are very appreciative of the technology that you've developed at ASI that we take part in connecting with our distributors, whether that's ESP or a Counselor magazine or the other avenues you give us to connect, stay in front of, be top of mind with the distributors. And finally, we do appreciate that ASI is very much on top of what's going on in the promotional products world, whether that's just news and information about companies and people, but also how the changes going on in the promotional products world reflect what's going on in the consumer or actual world, and how we as a company have to adapt, prepare, as we've learned in the last 14 or 15 months, pivot to make our world work. And you're an integral part at ASI of helping us to do that. So we thank you. Thank you very much.
Todd, you just made my Friday. Thank you so much for all your kind words and praise. It is a pleasure to serve you and your company. You have an awesome team over there, you, Jen, and everybody that works in your office. So it is a pleasure to support you, and take care.
All right. Our pleasure. Thank you very much, Melissa. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.